Is my error, so I'm making this video to correct it for every sixth grader who may not quite understand what's going on. The first thing you need to do is read this PowerPoint that I have here. Read everything, okay? When we get to this part, value still lifes, I should have explained that instead of making a viewfinder, what you're going to do is you're going to go online and find a still life of your own to draw. Now the way you do this is you go to Google and you type in still life photography. Now you go to the images tab, and since you want to get a nice size one that you can zoom in on without it messing up, you go to tools, go to size, and go to large. This will give you all of the large ones. Now you want to find one that is challenging but not impossible to draw. And for this example, I'm going to pick, let's see, or if you know exactly what you want to look for, what you can do is you can do something like pear still life photography. And now I have a bunch of pears that I can pick from. So I am going to pick, I'll pick these pears, and you need to make sure that it's a photograph, not a painting, but a photograph. You're not making up your own drawing. You're not drawing me a giant flower in a tiny little pot. You're not doing that. You are finding a photographic reference. So when you find the photographic reference, do not right click on the tiny image because you're going to end up saving a tiny image. You are going to right click on this big image. Then you're going to go to Open Image in New Tab. And the way to do this on the Chromebook is you take two fingers and click on that giant trackpad with both of those fingers at the same time. Then you should get something like this. It might look a little different because it's on Chrome. Then you're going to open Image in New Tab. You're going to right click again, and you're going to save image as, and then you're going to save it to your documents. Do you understand? You're going to save it to your documents. Then you can look at it whenever you want. So let's say we have our pears ready, and this is my piece of paper right here. I'm going to move this off to the side. Before I draw those pears, I need a horizon line. And if you've had me as an art teacher, you know that the horizon line is what separates the sky from the ground. The horizon line also serves as a surface for your still life. So I'm drawing my horizon line. It doesn't have to be straight, but if you want it to be straight, you are more than free to use a ruler. Now that I have my horizon line, I don't have to do much else except draw my fruit. Now there's a wrong way you can do this. You can rush through it and draw some completely sloppy things that do not look like fruit, or you can take your time. And I'm going to take my time. So I'm drawing lightly because the last thing I want to do is draw hard and then find out that I have to erase something. And when you're drawing your pears, make sure you're actually looking at the fruit. Don't draw what you think you see, draw what you actually see. And don't get bogged down by detail just yet, because the goal is to get it drawn before you add any serious details. So you want to get the general shapes. Work general to specific. So now I have my three pear shapes. They could be a little closer, but that's all right. Now I'm going to draw my stems, and I'm going to take my time. As you can see, I'm not shading anything in, I'm not coloring anything in yet. Because the goal of this is to draw your still life and to show the values. And as you can see, let me bring the image back. As you can see, there are shadows on this. There's a shadow here. There's a shadow here. And there's a shadow here. There's also a highlight right here. And there's also a shadow behind the pears and of course underneath the pears because they are sitting on a surface. So with that knowledge, what I should do with my pencil is draw those shadows in so I know where they are when it's time to color. So that's one shadow right there. Here's another one. Here's another one. So now I have shadows on my pears. And then there's also the highlights. There's a highlight right here on my pear. There's a highlight here. And there's a highlight right here. Is it time to color yet? No, it's not time to color yet. It's not time to color until I see your rough draft. Also, there's still more shadow to draw. I'm going to bring this over once again. See right here? I have shadows on the surface. So I have to draw those as well. They're darker where the pear meets the surface and they get lighter because of the reflection. This is what you should have for your midpoint check-in. You should have the sketch so that I can make any corrections that I need to make. And of course, I have this line going through my pear. So what in the world do I do about that? I get my eraser and I erase. And it's easy to erase because what did I do? I drew lightly. I drew lightly to make sure I wouldn't be super frustrated when it came to erasing. So that is what you're doing. This is all I need from you right now. I need your rough sketch. Okay? That's why it's a midpoint check-in. You should not finish doing this in 3 minutes. You should be looking for a reference image and then drawing that reference image and taking your time. No one wants a rush job. And that's all I need from you right now. Okay. Thank you.